Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mr. Josh Trigwell, and today I'll be presenting to you self-help materials in the prevention of smoking. Smoking throughout the world is the leading cause of preventable death. It is known that there are over 1.3 billion people that smoke in the world during 2021. At the current rate, we are expected to see an increase to 1.6 billion by 2025. Smoking causes a range of health issues from cancer in the lungs as well as other vital organs such as your stomach, liver and pancreas. Smoking also has a damaging effect on your heart, causes eye diseases and problems within your immune system. Smoking does not discriminate and damages nearly every organ in the body. The issue of smoking is extremely significant as it causes over 7 million deaths annually worldwide, and this is expected to increase to 8 million by 2030, while having over 450 million deaths over the next 50 years. There are over 7,000 chemicals in cigarette smoke, with about 250 of these being extremely harmful to the human body. Quitting smoking has been explained to be a very hard task to do, which is why self-help booklets have been created, as they are cost-effective and can reach a wide range of number of people throughout the world. Most people who attempt to quit smoking return to smoking within 12 months. Therefore, self-help educational booklets were created to help prevent smoking relapse in the people who have stopped smoking with the aid of some behavioural support. These booklets consist of information on how to effectively quit smoking, lessening the chances of taking up smoking again in the future or falling victim to sudden urges or cravings of smoking. There is also information on the damages smoking can do to the human body, which a lot of people try to ignore. The aim of this intervention is to evaluate the effectiveness of self-help booklets compared to short-term quitters without the self-help materials. There is a total of 8 booklets which are made easy to read so that all people have the ability to use them successfully. They are easily accessible and are in no shortage, so they are available to everyone. 2 groups of people were selected, a control group and an intervention group. These people have been selected from the National Health Service Stop Smoking Service clinics, who are 4-week quitters. They have all reported abstinence from smoking from day 14 to the end of the 4-week period after their initial quit date. People who are under the age of 18 or unable to read the self-help booklets in English did not take part in the investigation. The control group were given a control leaflet, whereas the intervention group were given the self-help booklets. The intervention group will find when reading the booklets they will be able to develop their skills to cope with situations where they will be faced with the urges to smoke again. An example of this is when they go out with their friends. Both groups then receive telephone follow-ups after 3 and 12 months in regards to their smoking status. Participants will answer a questionnaire during these follow-ups. At the final follow-up, the participants will be asked if they have smoked at all during the previous 12 months. If participants report an abstinence from smoking at the 12-month follow-up, they will be invited to have a carbon monoxide test to confirm this. Participants will then analyse how effective they thought the self-help booklets were. As a whole, 1,416 participants took part in this study. It was found that 4 participants in the control group and 5 participants in the intervention group were ineligible for the investigation. It was also found that 3 participants from the intervention group had to withdraw from the investigation due to illness or other personal reasons. The results from this study found that the smoking abstinence from 4 to 12 months was 36.9% in the intervention group and 38.6% in the control group. The higher smoking abstinence at 12 months was actually found to be impacted by other personal information, from the participants, such as age. The biggest factor for participants with the highest abstinence rate of smoking is if they were smoking less than 10 cigarettes per day before they decided to quit. Although there were no significant differences in the data and results collected, it was made known that participants in the intervention group said that they had learnt new ways to cope with the urges after reading the self-help booklets. Further statistics are shown in Table 2 on the graph. After receiving results from this study, it has shown that there is no significant difference in people remaining abstinent from smoking if they had received the self-help materials or not, shown by the percentages. The main reason for this is the difference in smoking cessation treatment received by the study's participants. There was also no evidence to suggest that the participants in the intervention group used the information that they had read to deal with their urges, even though they had learned new coping mechanisms. It was noted that participants had received behavioural support for their smoking cessation prior to taking part in the trial. This indicates that there would have been unlikely for the participants to receive information that was similar to the information that was embedded within the self-help materials. Many of the participants relapsed and failed to use the strategies provided to cope with their urges to smoke. It was hard to follow up on some of the smokers as many participants relapsed but were unwilling to declare this. Originally, the self-help booklets were created for people who wanted to quit smoking on their own accord, rather than partake in a face-to-face counselling sessions. Other reasons for this investigation to not achieve what it was set out to do could have been cultural differences between the people who took part in the study. Finally, it was noted that the self-help booklets provided and the behavioural sessions attended to by participants, many participants relapsed and continued to smoke again, which suggests that smokers could not execute the skills that they had read about to prevent themselves from relapsing and smoking again. In conclusion, the full set of self-help booklets provided to the participants was found to have no impact or benefits to the people who were trying to quit smoking. More evidence is needed to increase the confidence that self-help materials are actually beneficial to smokers. It is suggested that further research is to take place to focus on interventions that will help the smokers' coping skills when they are faced with the temptation of having a smoke in the future. While the information within the booklets were considered valuable, it was proven that participants did not take the information on board, which resulted in them relapsing. At the current smoking rates of people around the globe, it is inevitable that changes needed to be made to help people quit smoking. We have seen that information on smoking is not changing people's behaviours when it comes to smoking, as the majority of them are relapsing. Therefore, stronger consequences need to be put into place and greater education for young people needs to occur if we are going to solve the issue of smoking. Otherwise, we will see a dramatic increase of unnecessary deaths caused by smoking, which will have a devastating impact on our future. Thank you.